Hello friends, myself Mrs.Bhavana Vibhute and I welcome you again in my YouTube channel Enjoy Learning. Friends, today we are going to deal with a different topic which is based on writing skill. And today let's study one of the most important topic from writing skill, and that is letter writing. Friends, in olden days, letter writing was most important thing in day-to-day life also. As nowadays, because of cell phones, mobile phones, internet, because of emails, etc., it has become outdated. And that is why the format of letter has been changed last year. It has become in similar with emails. So it is very necessary to know about the changes in letter writing. So friends, as you know, there are two types of letters, formal letter and informal letter. To formal letter, we call औपचारिक पत्र in Marathi, and for informal letter, we call अनौपचारिक पत्र. In the board exam, question 5th A is letter writing and it is for 5 marks. So which things we have to take consider to get 5 marks? So what is formal letter? We call औपचारिक पत्र in Marathi. There is a formality in these types of letters. We write these letters to our teachers, headmasters, principal, or municipal corporation, police officers, or managers of various institutions. Means we write formal letters for official purpose. But in informal letters, there is no formality. We write these letters to our relatives or friends or family members or to those people who are very well familiar with us or close to us. So both these letters have a particular format. So let's discuss about the formats of formal letter and informal letter. But before that, let's know about some important concepts related to letter writing. So first thing is address of the sender. In Marathi, पत्र लिहिणाऱ्या व्यक्तीचे नाव व पत्ता. Then comes date, means दिनांक. Then address of the addressee, means ज्यांना पत्र लिहिणार आहोत त्यांचा पत्ता व हुद्दा, means designation. Then reference, means संदर्भ. In reference, it may be an advertisement or a letter you received. Then subject. Subject means purpose of the letter. In Marathi, पत्राचा विषय. Then salutation. In Marathi, वंदन. For example, dear sir, madam, or dear friend, etc., etc. Main body of the letter means पत्राचा मुख्य भाग. Then complimentary clause means स्वाक्षरीसाठी लिहिले गेलेले शब्द. For example, yours faithfully, yours lovingly, yours obediently, etc. Then signature means in Marathi पत्र लिहिणाऱ्याची स्वाक्षरी, means sender's sign. And if there is a formal letter or application letter, in the end we have to put enclosure. What is the meaning of enclosure? It means in Marathi पत्रासोबत जोडलेल्या कागदपत्रांची माहिती. So friends, let's start letter writing. First of all, we will take some information about informal letter, that is called अनौपचारिक पत्र. In informal letter, the most important thing now we have to consider in letter writing is that we are writing nothing to the right side of the letter. whatever we are going to write, we have to write to the left side of the letter. So, no right side, only left side. So, in informal letter, the format of the informal letter is, first of all, we have to write down address of the sender. Below that, date, then salutation, then body of the letter, and afterwards complimentary close. Then we have to keep space of 2 lines, and then we have to write signature. So let's see one example of informal letter. The question is, imagine that your friend has passed the standard 10th examination with distinction, in spite of his or her being seriously ill during the examination. Write a letter congratulating him or her on his or her success. You can use some of the quotations you have noted from the text. So, first of all, we have to write down the sender's address, and that is Rajiv Nagar, Pune, December 18, 2013. So this is address and date. Now, salutation. As it is a letter to friend, we have to write down dear and his or her name. Dear Rohit. Then after salutation, we have to write down a short introductory paragraph. Means the purpose of the letter. For what we have written the letter. As we can see here, I was very glad to learn from your letter, which I have received this afternoon, that you have come off the SSC examination with flying colors. Please accept my hearty congratulations. You carried off a prize in mathematics as well. This is indeed the fruit of your hard work. So this is the first paragraph. Now in second paragraph, you have to give information about your letter in some detail. So the second paragraph will be like this. All of us were very anxious about your result. How seriously ill you were during the examination. I hope many of your friends and relatives advised you to drop out the examination attempt to secure good marks. But you believed in your motto. You will never know unless you try. And you tried and got distinction. So, this is the second paragraph of the letter. And now, third paragraph will be the complimentary clause. So, it will be like this. I understand that you intend to join Arts College. I, however, feel that you would consult your teachers and elders before you decide. I wish you brilliant success in the future. And in the end, there is a signature. Yours lovingly, XYZ. So friends, this is about informal letter. Now, let's turn towards the formal letter. Let's take an example of formal letter. First of all, let's see the format of formal letter. It will be like this. First of all, address of the sender, then date, then designation and address of the addressee, then subject of the letter, then salutation, and below that body of the letter, and then complimentary clause, and keeping some space of 1 or 2 lines. In the end, there is signature. So, this is about formal letter. There are various types of letters we have to write down in the examination. there is a complaint letter also, or letter of complaint. So let's see the format of complaint letter. In this format, first of all, we have to write down address of the sender, then date, then designation and address to the addressee, then subject, then salutation, body of the letter, complimentary clause, and keeping some space in the end, there should be signature, and everything is at the left side. Now let's take one example of complaint letter. The question is, write a complaint letter to the police inspector of your city against the nuisance of loudspeakers in your locality. In this letter, first of all, then sender's address and date to the left side, then designation and address of the addressee below it, then the subject of the letter. So, in this complaint letter, first of all, you have to write down the sender's address and date as given here. 12 Manvika Society, Poker Colony, Nasik 4, October 15, 2013. Then designation and address of the addressee. 2. The station officer, City Police Station, Jalgaon. Then there will be subject of the letter, complaint against the nuisance of loudspeakers. Then salutation, I, the undersigned, wish to bring your notice the nuisance caused by loudspeakers and music. There is a grand bungalow recently built in our locality. The house owner always keeps the TV and CD player playing. It is the time of terminal exams. I cannot concentrate on study. The house owner does not pay attention to our request. It is an offense to disturb the peace of others. So, you are requested to look into the matter immediately. Thank you. Then, complimentary clause. Thanking you. Yours faithfully, XYZ. So, this is a letter of complaint. Now, after complaint letter, let's see application letter. First of all, we'll see the format of application letter. In this format, first of all, address of the sender, then date, then designation and address of the addressee, then reference. In application type of letter, reference is important. It may be an advertisement from newspaper, or it may be a letter which you received. Then subject of the letter, then salutation, then main body of the letter, and then complimentary clause. And keeping some space, we have to write down signature. And at the bottom of the letter, enclosure means the information about the documents which you are going to attach with the letter. So, this is a format of application letter. Now, let's take one example of it. Question is, write an application letter for the post of sales representative. Now, in this letter, first of all, you also have to write down address of the sender and date. XYZ, Somwarpet, Pune, 411007, 30th May, 2013. Then, designation and address of the addressee. 2. The manager, Sterling Textile Limited, Zaveri Building, SVP Road, CP Tank, Chennai 400012. In application type of letter, reference is very important. So, we have to write down reference. Your advertisement in the Daily Sakar dated 18th May 2013. Then subject, an application for the post of a sales representative. Then salutation, respected sir, with reference to your advertisement in Sakar newspaper, I hereby apply for the post of sales representative. I am 22 years old and have passed my graduation in commerce with first class. I have experience of 3 years of selling clothes. I have worked with Raymond as an apprentice of 3 years of selling clothes. Kindly consider my case. I am keenly interested in marketing. I promise to work sincerely. I look forward to join your company. And then complimentary close, thanking you. Yours faithfully, XYZ. And at the end, you have to write down enclosure, means information about the documents you are going to attach. For example, first biodata and second photocopy of the experience certificate. So, this is about application type of letter. Now, let's see letter to the editor. First of all, we'll see the format of letter to editor. The format of the letter to the editor is, at the beginning, you have to write down sender's address, then date, then designation and address of the addressee, then salutation, then main body below it, then complimentary close, and at the end, keeping some space, we have to write down signature at the bottom. So, this is about the format of letter to the editor. Now, let's take an example of letter to the editor. The question is, write a letter to the editor of a newspaper highlighting the water pollution problem in your area. So, first of all, we have to write down sender's address, XYZ 456 Ravivar Pet, Nasik 1, February 28th, 2013. Then designation and address of the addressee. 2. The editor, The Times of India, Mumbai 411001. Then we have to write down subject of the letter, the water pollution problem in our area. Then salutation, sir or madam. Then the introductory paragraph. The water pollution in our areas has indeed become a trouble. Majority of housewives in residence throw out used water in the lanes. There is no drainage system in our area, so it happens regularly and naturally. Municipal water pipelines turn muddy. Stray cattle and pigs sit in the mud. Children play there. It has made our area polluted and worse for living. It can affect people with diseases. The authority must be aware of the comfort of others. It is an overcrowded, congested residential area. I hope the municipal corporation and water supply department should not wait for save our life appeals by citizens. These problems should be looked into and solved. And then the last complimentary close para. It is an offense to disturb the peace of others. So, you are requested to look into the matter immediately. May we hope for an early action? And then, thanking you, yours faithfully, XYZ. So friends, today we have discussed about the letter writing of formal letter and informal letter, their formats and examples of various types of letters. We have seen informal letter, and in formal letters we have seen letter of complaint, application type of letter, and letter to the editor. I hope you will definitely get benefit from this video. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share and subscribe my YouTube channel. Enjoy learning.